Hello students, today we have to start with the geography portion from social science. Students, geography is very important part from social science, right? So it is we can say very important element of SST. So today we have to start with the first chapter, that is the India size and location. Students, this chapter is very important to understand the basic things related to our country. And in this chapter, we'll study several points or several we can say points of this chapter. Basically, we have to study. So first one that we have to study, that is related to introduction. Means first we'll introduce the country, that how the name of our country was basically originated. Then second one, basically we have to study about the location of the country. Location of the country is very important, means how we used to find out the location of any country, any region on the in the world, we can say on the globe. So it is very important portion from the chapter number 1. Then we have to find out the size of our country, means what size we are having, how much north to south distance we are having of our country, how much east to west distance we are having of our country, how much international boundary we are having, how much coastline we are having, that we have to study in this topic, size of India. The next one, that is India and the world, means what kind of relations we are having with the world, what kind of economic strategies we are having, or what kind of economic importance we are having of our country. So India is having too much economic importance because we are having wide coastline. So next point that we have to do in this chapter, that is India and neighbor countries. So we are having some landlocked countries of India, we are having some island countries who are neighbors of our country. So what kind of significant importance we are having between India and neighbor countries. So in the end we have to conclude this chapter with the question answers, right? So this is basically, we can say, we have to do or we have to study in this chapter. So first we'll start with the introduction, means how the name of our country basically originated. So it is basically the part of history, but we used to say that India is one of the oldest civilizations in the world, and the name India was basically originated from Indus Valley civilizations. So many geographers, so many scholars have given their views related to the name of India. Some of the geographers, they have given the name of India as Bharat. Some of the geographers or some of the scholars have given the name of our country behind, we can say, Bharat, or we can say some of the scholars, they have given the name as we can say that Hindustan, and some of the scholars, they have given the name India. And India was basically originated behind of Indus Valley civilizations. So the next point that we have to do from this chapter, that is location of India. Okay, so to find out the location of any region or any country, we must understand about the latitudes and longitudes. So students, what is latitude, or we can say how we used to define latitudes? So we can define latitudes, we can say the angular distance, means latitudes, how we used to draw the latitudes. Latitudes, basically these are the imaginary lines which we have drawn on the earth, right? So we have taken 2 points, north and south, because earth is rotating, earth is also revolving. So we cannot draw the latitudes exactly, but why we used to call them imaginary? Because earth is rotating. So we have just taken the north and southern point, and then we have drawn the imaginary lines. So first imaginary line which we have drawn on the earth's surface, that is basically a 0-degree line. 0-degree line, which is also called equator. Now earlier I told you that the shape of the earth is geode, or we can say spherical, right? So basically it is a circle, or we can say it is basically a spherical. So means the equator divides the earth's surface into 2 equal parts, the northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere, right? So 0-degree is basically an latitude. The definition of latitude, that we can say the angular distance from the center of the earth to the meridian of the earth is called latitude. So we are having means above 0-degree we are having 90 angles, means at this point we'll have 90 angles. So in the northern hemisphere we are having 90 latitudes, and in the southern hemisphere again we are having 90 latitudes. So how many latitudes we are having? 90 plus 90, 180, and one we are having, that is 0 degree, which is basically denoted by equator. So 181 we are having total latitudes on the surface of the earth. So to find out the location of any country, any region, any district or any state, latitudes plays very important role, right? So from latitudinal extent we can analyze that which place or which country is lying in which hemisphere. So the latitudinal extent of our country is basically, we can say, 8.4 degree north to 37.6 degree north, or 37.6 degrees 6 minutes north. So it is basically the latitudinal extent of our country. So 8.4, this is basically, we can say, this is the latitude which is donating 8.4 degree north, and it is here we are having, that is 37.6 degree north latitude. So this is basically, we can say, the latitudinal extent of India. So from this latitudinal extent, means, see here above the 0 degree or above the equator, whatever latitudes we are having, they all are northern latitudes because they lies in northern hemisphere. So whatever latitudes we are having in southern hemisphere, they all are southern latitudes. So from here we can analyze that India lies in northern hemisphere. But in northern hemisphere we are having so many countries, like we can see Canada, we can see Russia, so many Asian countries are also lies in northern hemisphere. So we can, how we can identify that where exactly the India is. So to find out the exact location of India, now we require the longitudinal extent of our country. So longitudinal extent of our country is basically, we can say, that is 68.7 eastern longitude, or we can say 68 degrees 7 minute eastern longitude to 97.25 eastern longitude. So this is basically, we can say, the longitudinal extent of India. It is written here. So it is basically, we can say, the longitudinal extent of the country is 68 degrees 7 minutes east to 97 degree 25 minute east. So longitudes, again, they are the imaginary lines, or we can say they are basically the vertical lines on the earth surface. So 181 latitudes we are having, and we all know that parameter of a circle, that is basically we denote by 360 degrees. So we can draw 360 longitudes on the surface of the earth. So 0 degree longitude is basically, we can say, the center of the earth, which is also known as the international meridian, or we can say it is basically Greenwich timeline, or we used to call it international standard of the world, right? So 0 degree is basically denoted as Greenwich timeline, and behind the 0 degree we are having 180 degree, that basically 180 degree line is denoted as western longitude as well as eastern longitude. So whatever longitudes we are having in the western side, they are basically called western longitudes on the earth's surface, and whatever longitudes we are having in the eastern side, they are basically called as eastern longitudes. So now here you can see that what longitudinal extent we are having of India. So longitudinal extent, that is 68 degrees 7 minute east to 97 degree 25 minute east. So from here we can analyze the latitudinal extent is completely lying in the eastern longitudes. So from here we can analyze that location of India is in northeastern hemisphere. So exact location of India on the globe, that is in northeastern hemisphere. So this is all about the location of our country. This is how we used to find out the location of our country. So total 360 longitudes we are having on the earth's surface, and total 181 latitudes we are having on the earth's surface. Now question may arise here, that what is the distance between two latitudes? So the distance between two latitudes, we can say it is 111 kilometers. It is the distance between two latitudes, and the distance between two longitudes, that we can say 111.321 kilometers. Right, so this is how we used to find out the location of any country. I hope it is clear now. The next one, the next point that we have to discuss related to this chapter, that is basically the means the basically we can say that which is the southernmost point of India and which is the northernmost point of India, or we can say which is the westernmost point of India or which is easternmost point of India. So here it is written Indra Point. Indra Point is basically the southernmost point of India. Earlier it was till 2004, but now it is not, because it got submerged under the sea water during the tsunamis in 2004. So Indra Point was basically the southernmost point of India earlier, as it lies at 6.4 degree, and it lies here at 6.4 degree north latitude, and the longitude at here we are having, that is 93.8 degree east, or 93 degree 8 minutes east. This is basically we can say that it is basically the latitudinal and longitudinal extent of Indra Point. So this was earlier, this was the southernmost point of India, but now we are having southernmost point of India, that is basically we can say Kanyakumari. Right, and now question may arise in your mind that which is the northernmost point of India. So the northernmost point of India is here, that is Indra Kol. It lies above Jammu and Kashmir. So Indra Kol is the northernmost point of India. Indra Point, that is the southernmost point of India. Now question may arise in your mind that which is the westernmost point of India. So westernmost point of India is basically here. So which we used to call Guwahati Moti. It is in Gujarat. This is the westernmost point of India. Then one more we are having, that is the easternmost point of India. Now which is the easternmost point of India? That is basically we are having here, we are having Kibithu. It is in Arunachal Pradesh. So we can say that northernmost point of India, that is Indra Kol, it is above J&K. Then we are having southernmost point of India. Earlier we were having Indra Point, but now it got submerged into tsunamis after 2004. So now we are having southernmost point of India, that is Kanyakumari. Then we can say that westernmost point of India, that is Guwahati Moti, it is in Gujarat. And the easternmost point of India, that is basically we can say Kibithu, it is in Arunachal Pradesh. Right.